Good morning, everybody. Quickly, before we get into the video, I wanted to grab your attention to all the existing but also new viewers that we actually also around Cilinix Crypto have a Signal and a Premium group in which I share my own trades, in which I share daily updates on the markets, on altcoins, Bitcoin, XRP, everything. So if you're interested in knowing which coins to buy, which coins actually have potential, if you feel sidelined, but also if you want to be, alerted when a pullback becomes more likely, consider joining. Links will be down in the description. Right now we're running a limited time offer for a lifetime membership. So check that out. But for now, let's get right into the video. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you had a good weekend and welcome to this new video right here on Bitcoin. We're going to do a full update. I will try to tell you everything you need to know regarding today. Today is most likely going to be quite volatile. We've spoken about this before, but especially on Bitcoin. I mean, you can see the volume over the course of the Asian session this morning for me or the night was quite high, but ultimately it's still very, very low compared to real volume you see over the course of the week, right? So especially I think the Asian session and the US session are the most important. So we've seen some bullish momentum come in during the Asian session. That's great. There are some things you need to know about that, and we'll talk about that, but that's great. But the US session, the New York session, we should technically say, is going to be more important, especially given the price action we saw this morning. But we'll talk about that in a moment. First of all, I wanted to do a brief overview of the fundamentals. Tomorrow, I think something that you need to know about is that we have a Jerome Powell speech, all right? So that is right here. So that's at 12:30 UTC. I don't expect any price action because of that today, right? So don't worry too much about that today, but for tomorrow, whatever he is going to say will probably matter. And outside of that, the fundamentals this morning are quite good. Regardless of any news that we had over the course of the weekend, whatever, there wasn't much, but still, the stock market has had a good opening so far, so that's nice to see. It's also good for our stock portfolios, and I think there's a realistic chance that the S&P 500 is going to continue to surge, which is great. Volatility index is low, so there's not much unrest. That's great as well. And then outside of that, we have a Coinbase Bitcoin premium, right? So there's still significant bidding coming in from Coinbase, which is great as well. It's a little bit lower than it was the 19th, but the 19th, it was very, very high, right? So that doesn't really matter that much. So ultimately, fundamentals are great for Bitcoin. Now, the move we've had this morning is quite peculiar, right? Because we had a relatively low volume move up, leaving a lot of imbalances, as you can see. Now, purely technically, Bitcoin is still within the range, right? We dropped down yesterday evening to this level right here at 117.3, which is the value area low. We held that beautifully, right? So that's a bullish confirmation in my book. We dropped down into that. There was quite a big position close. Quite high volume as well, to be fair. Similar volume as what we saw some hours on Friday. But we held the main support level, so that's great. And now you can see we have rallied into the point of control right here at 119.8, leaving a lot of imbalances. So is that necessarily bad? No, but then we do need to see over the course of today, and there that New York session comes in again, we do need to see a very strong continuation, right? So we need to see a lot of strong volume and momentum continue over the course of today, because then what you can see, and that reminds me a lot of price action we saw before, then you can see that we can push up higher, retest later, and then continue rallying, right? So that's also what we did Wednesday the 2nd of July. We left a lot of imbalances, but ultimately we saw continued bullish momentum in the New York session. We broke out and we started to eventually rally up higher. So that is crucial today as well, right? We need to get a strong New York session. We need to get a strong reaction at the 7-day rolling VWAP here at 118.6. And then ultimately we need to break above 120.3, which is the value area high. But that is almost guaranteed if we have a strong US open. And we get a strong reaction at that level here at 118.6. As it stands right now, because of all the fundamentals around the markets, I have to kind of say that I'm leaning towards saying that we're going to get a strong reaction here and that we are going to break out, which would be great because then we can actually start talking about all-time highs again. But this is, look, even though I'm slightly leaning towards expecting this at this point of time, I'm being very fluid with my thoughts, right? So if we do not get a strong reaction here at 118.8, 118.6, I will change my mind. All right, if we do not get a strong reaction there, and if the US session does not open with momentum, we're going to refill the entire imbalance here to the downside and drop back down into the bottom of the range. Be aware that that's a scenario, and be prepared for the breakout and a bullish scenario. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know for now. So I'll keep you updated on that, but that's it. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.